What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. In here with my guy, my co-host, the only Sacramento Kings fan that I know. What's good, Spread Stare?
What wasn't good was my results last night with those Brooklyn
Our
Nets,
results.
man.
Our results.
I'm going straight to yesterday's news. Let's get into it because, first of all, it was a great basketball game. It was a great night of sports overall, dude. I had Carlos Alcaraz on one TV, the Nets and the Bucks on the other. I mean, it was high level sports last night. So that was so much fun. What wasn't fun was being on the wrong side of that game. And I'm just watching when Bruce Brown made that foul when they were up by 4 or 5 with less than a minute to go, and he pushes Giannis into KD. It was like, what are you doing? What are
Right,
you doing? Let him work. Like, they had the
right.
game in hand. They blew it once again. And hey, Steve Nash, great player. A lot of fun to watch. Is he ready to be a coach at this level? I'm not sure. We'll see. Credit to the Bucks, man. This team is so good, and that game was so much fun. Tough to be on the wrong end of a loss, but that's what happens in this business. And at least I got to watch a great game while I experienced that.
Man, yesterday was tough on both of us. I know you had A&M with me. I
Yep.
stressed to you guys to take the first half as Spread and I did, and hopefully you did so as well. But the -4.5 for the game did still. They end up losing money line. Um, got some real questionable calls in the second half. We'll just say from the Zebras. A lot of blocks and charges went the way of Xavier in the second half, and then Texas A&M found themselves in the penalty within the first 5 to 7 minutes of the second half. Things kind of spiraled. They still almost won the game, but great shot by Jack Nungy. I'm sure he dedicated this game to his dad. I know a little bit about the kid's story. He transferred from Iowa. Uh, Lost his dad while he was still at Iowa. They was very close. He taught him the game, so I'm sure his dad is smiling up above. But we're a little bit down on the loss that we got. Xavier upsetting A&M in the game that A&M had complete control of the first half. They were up double digits going into the half. Then they trimmed it to 9 right before the half. Colby Jones for Xavier is an impressive player. He put the team on his back. Young kid, man. I believe he's a freshman, and he didn't play as much this season. He got some playing time, but he deferred a lot to the veterans that were on Xavier's team. But with the injury that occurred to their star shooting guard, he had to step up, and he did step up. And I'm sure that he put himself on the watch list for a lot of preseason accolades next year in the Big East. So shout out to Xavier, great job. Aggies, come on, guys. You can't blow that lead like that. You can't allow the refs to uh, orchestrate that game like that. You guys had them. You had your foot on your throat. You didn't apply pressure, and that's what happens. And now we're in a situation spread was do or die. We have to come through today with a 2-0, man. We have to. I'm going to even give out some bonuses because we can't have a losing week. We've been on 10 straight weeks with this daily show. Before this, we won with the hourly show that we did weekly for the NFL and college football season. But now since we've been doing the daily show for the hoops action, we've had 10 straight winning weeks, and I don't want that to change today. So it's a lot of pressure on us today, Spread. We got to come through, man.
I know, and it's not the cleanest schedule here today, right?
Yeah.
If we looked at the Clippers and the Bucks game, right? That should have been a lot of fun. But everybody's sitting, right? Giannis sitting, Middleton's out, Drew Holiday's out. On the Clippers side, I know Paul George is out, right? Marcus Morris, right? So
G League 2.0.
yeah, it's like they throw in preseason games in the middle of the regular season, but I'm not
It's
going to go off on the schedule now. If you want, catch my NBA rundown, and I'm going to go off on that then. But we'll save the people now. I did find a game though, however, where we're going to be able to take advantage of a teams that actually mean something, right? And let's go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're playing the Denver Nuggets. It's a tough spot here, right? And I'm going to be a little contrarian, right? Because I do like the Minnesota Timberwolves in this game. I'm kind of going against recent trends here. Timberwolves have lost 4 of their last 5 games. Denver's won 3 in a row. So that doesn't bode well for me. But what I do like is the matchup here. Of course, Jokic has big nights every night against absolutely anybody. So don't even bother worrying about who's going to defend him. But I think Karl Anthony Towns can match him. And then you look at the supporting cast that Karl Anthony Towns is bringing here. You know, he's got Anthony Edwards, he's got D'Angelo Russell, he's got all these guys. And, you know, Jokic is running around with Will Barton and Austin Rivers, right? So
Right.
I know that Denver is very good at home, and it is tough here, but we are getting, you know, the 3 points of NBA odds to help us here. So I like the Minnesota Timberwolves +3 in one of the few games that has both teams actually playing for something or isn't double-digit odds.
Okay, so spread is going with NBA short dog on the road. The very talented Timberwolves had a depleted Denver Nuggets team that's currently being carried by Jokic, who's seeking to go back-to-back MVP. I'm going to go with Kansas -4, man. We'll take you guys straight to the Final Four. That's the semifinals. This is a rematch of the 2018 semifinal matchup that Villanova dominated on its way to winning its third national championships in its school's history. Only one player, Lightfoot, I believe, is the only player. He's like a 6-year senior. You know, the super senior stuff, guys stay there longer than my kid is in elementary. So these guys are here for like 10 years now. But anyway, I think Lightfoot was the only player on the team that was on that 2018 team. But I'm sure Bill Self, who was the head coach for Kansas, will remember the beat down that they took. Right now is a perfect time for the Jayhawks to catch Villanova. Villanova is missing a very, very key figure in Justin Moore. Justin Moore, to me, is the most talented player on Villanova's team. Definitely the most versatile. He's 6'4", but he plays much bigger. Great shooter. Definitely the best penetrator on the team. The highest recruit that Villanova has had, Jay Wright has had in a while. He was heralded coming out of high school, and he's performed well. He allows Jay Wright the ability to play small ball. As you know, Villanova is one of the best defensive teams in the country. They list their power forward as 6'8", but I know he's like 6'6". You know what I mean? He's a Charles Barkley 6'8". So they're a pretty short team up front. And I think that with Justin Moore not being available, not only is he the second leading scorer, second on the team in rebounding, definitely one of the leaders of the team. They already have a short bench. Jay Wright only goes about 6 players deep. His sub, Caleb Daniels, will have to start now. They play the one kid sometimes at point to sub Gillespie for maybe 1 minute. As this game goes on, Kansas is going to wear down Villanova. I expect David McCormick to have a huge game for the Jayhawks on the pick and roll and also on the offensive boards. The Jayhawks are such a talented team, and they're big. Jalen Wilson, their power forward, is versatile, hits the boards, can shoot threes. Might have the player of the year, and Ochai Agbaji. He's a unbelievable talent, kind of a Ray Allen at UConn clone. I just think that as the game goes on, and with such a short bench and missing 15 points and 6 rebounds from Justin Moore, that Villanova just won't be able to have the manpower to keep up with Kansas. I spoke on my Twitter about how unbelievable cardio that Villanova has that I noticed over the season and especially in the tournament. They only play 6 guys, and these guys play hard the whole game. Well, now it's down to 5. And they're dealing with a Kansas team that has some elite talent. They're well coached. They're hitting their stride at the right time. They have spurt ability. They can go on a 20-0 run like it's nothing because they know how to turn up on the defensive end and get running. One of the few mistakes that Coach Kelvin Sampson has made at his tenure in Houston was slowing down and playing bully ball and the half-court ball that he had been playing successfully all season against Villanova. That's Villanova's style. Bill Self is not going to make that same mistake. They're going to run. They're going to have their big men running the lanes. They're going to get quick posts and easy baskets because Villanova's just not going to be able to match up in size and in depth. I expect Villanova to be in a lot of foul trouble by the end of that game. So we're going to roll with Kansas that I feel like will separate in the second half and win this game fairly easy and prepare to play for the national championship on Monday night. Is one of the Vegas homies in here yet?
Yep, we got a guest. Let's bring him on.
All right, guys. We got to bring in my guy, man. The guy who believes that James Harden and Joel Embiid should be on the ticket for 2024.
Not with Doc Rivers coaching.
My guy, Alex Noops Christensen from the Brown Bag Bets. Man, I appreciate you for coming, Noops. What's up, brother? How are you, man?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is fun to watch the Sixers, but ultimately, in the big moments that Doc Rivers is going to find ways to hold these guys back. They're playing the Bucks the other night. They pulled Joel Embiid off the court with a 10-point lead, about 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Now, you guys have been watching basketball forever. You pull a guy off with 2 minutes, 30 seconds at the end of the third, you start him in the fourth quarter, right?
Right.
He's been off the floor for about 15 minutes of real planet Earth time. That's about enough to catch a break without getting cold. Doc leaves him on the bench till about 9 minutes left. He's been off the floor now for 30, 35 minutes. Giannis has scored like 15 points during this time, and the lead's down to 1. And there he is. It's just, there continues to be this mismanagement of stuff that, again, I know going back, hindsight's 2020, but that seems like a really kind of duh thing. I don't know if that was his plan. I don't know if he forgot Embiid wasn't in the game. It just doesn't make sense to me. So as much as I love my Philadelphia 76ers, and this team is fun, and it really does feel like a year where anything can happen. It's I'm not as optimistic as maybe I was a month ago.
No, I'm not at all about them. And you know what's strange, Snoops, is that Doc Rivers was in Los Angeles, but because he was with the Clippers, he never got, the type of criticism that he deserved for the coaching mishaps he was making all the time with the Clippers. That's one of the reasons Chris Paul was ready to get up out of there. He did not like how, Doc Rivers coached and managed games. And I witnessed him like really blow one with us, with the Rockets. I know you remember that game, Noose, when they were 18 in the fourth quarter in the deciding game 7. He let Josh Smith led back
on the bench.
Yes. Backup squad.
Josh Smith in the bench.
Right. Go crazy and take the game back for the same reason that you said, didn't start us too long, sticking to his guns on whatever his minutes is and how he sets it up, and just overall just being a little hard-headed and not being able to understand that, hey man, sometimes you got to do things a little bit different. He's truly old school, and it works backwards because now you got Westbrook, who was with the Rockets, and I know we all saw that he's the same guy that he is right now, but he's getting out criticism because he's across the street with the Lakers, who LA's media are fanboys of, so they care a little bit more about. So it's crazy how you got one market, but how the coverage is much different for the Clippers and the Lakers. What's your thoughts about the Sixers spread?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. Doc Rivers, a couple things I'm not a fan of there, right? And this team, they love to throw each other under the bus, right? First, it was Embiid last season with Ben Simmons. Now, Rivers is calling out Harden after a loss to Detroit Pistons. So I don't know if these guys learned about keeping things in the locker room maybe and having some private conversations, but they're quite fine doing everything in the media. On the court, they still have potential. And Alex said it best. Anything can happen this year. Just because they lost a game in April to the Bucks does not mean they don't have a chance to win the NBA championship. Would I be surprised? Slightly, but it's not like that out of the way, like, the Toronto Raptors winning the championship or something that would just utterly shock me, right? So they still have the talent here. Let's see if James Harden can get it done. I'll be interested to see where they all try to end up, because it seems to be there's this roulette here where we want the number 1 seed in the East. But we don't want 2 because we don't want to play Brooklyn in that first round, but we do want 3 instead of 4 and things like that. So while I do think the Sixers have a chance, I think the Bucks clearly established themselves as the favorites in the East. And I was kind of hoping that Brooklyn got the win last night to kind of shake everything up, right? To put a little seeds of doubt there. in this, not just being a Bucks versus Suns rematch is what it's looking like right now. So, don't want to give up on Philadelphia yet, but they've got on me on my other shows. They always think that I'm a little higher on Philadelphia than I should be.
Right.
It's easy to be. You got Joel Embiid, you got James Harden. The rosters looks nice, and when the rosters thin up, they should have an even bigger talent advantage. I mean, their bench is tough in some of these regular season games, but again, they're not going to be able to be greater than the sum of their parts with the leadership they have. It's amazing to watch a team come out and do the exact same thing for 4 quarters. That's not sticking to your guns. That's being stubborn. That's wrong.
If they go out in the first or second round, is Rivers gone, Alex?
I hope so. I think that's an easy decision for sure. I think they absolutely have to make the conference finals for him to save his job. I mean, there's people starting to complain. The problem is we have a whole bunch of other crappy coaches here in Philadelphia, so a lot going on.
My boys. My boy, one of my guys that I see all the time in Aria, used to be is Ty Lue, man, and I got a lot of love for Ty, man. Of course, we don't discuss any NBA or things like that. That's off limits for him. But just from afar, I kind of think Ty Lue was the guy that was kind of holding the ship down for him, and I think he's missed him as his lead assistant a lot. As you see, Ty Lue does a lot with a little over there with the Clippers, man. What else you got for us, Noops?
Well, I figured we'd talk a little bit of tennis. The NBA, we're starting to finish out. I guess next week we'll get together, talk about some playoff odds and stuff like that. But we've got the Miami finals. We'll start with the women's final tomorrow. Now, Spread, have you been watching a lot of the tennis? It's been fantastic. The last week or so, it seems like there's been 2 or 3 incredible matches every day. But have you been watching the women's? And what do you think of this final? Iga Swiatek playing 3.5 games, right around a -200 favorite. And, the number 1 player in the world versus the former number 1 player in the world.
I agree with the market here. She opened about -157. It's all the way out to -200. And how could you not like what she's doing right now? She's won 16 consecutive matches. She has yet to drop a set here. And in fact, last night when Pegula pushed her to 7-5, which thank God she did because I had the over there, and that got me 1 game over the 19.5. That was her first time losing more than 3 games in a set during this Miami tournament, right? Not only that, she's been utterly fantastic in her last 3 finals, right? Let's go back to last year in Rome. Double bagel on Pliskova, right? Then this year in Doha, 6-2, 6-0 over Kontaveit. Her closest final this year, Maria Sakkari, 6-4, 6-1, right? So, boy, she's going into clay season on a tear, and it'll be interesting, right? Osaka faced a little bit of adversity yesterday. I think that was good for her to overcome it, right? She drops the first set to Bancic. Osaka had only been broken 1 time going into the Belinda match. Belinda broke her 4 times yesterday, right? So she really had to dig deep. That's good. But let's see how she does against Swiatek, who I think is, a little bit ahead of her right now. And I think mentally is going to have a huge edge in a close match.
Yeah, the slow courts would seem to really favor Iga here. What do you think about this matchup, Andre? How do you see it playing out?
I'm on the dog. Anytime I can catch a number like that, and I feel like both players are evenly matched, I don't think the Swiatek is that much better when she's on her game. When Osaka's on her game, she's the best in the world. So she's had a hiatus. Her career is a lot like her mentor and her idol, which is I wouldn't say her mentor, I say her idol, Serena Williams. She has these little lapses, but at the end of the day, she's a tiger at the heart. So when she's into it and she wants to win, she's going to bring her A game. And I think she's going to be very focused for this match, man. I think she's going to want to show the world that, hey, Swiatek has only been doing all these things because I've been at home, enjoying my money. But now, since I want to play and I want to bring this tournament home, and I'm in my home state of Florida, Miami, big tournament, big prize money, big stage, I really expect Osaka to win this match.
In a funky way, I kind of agree with you both. I think Spread is right. The price at this point makes sense to me. Maybe you're buying a little bit high on Swiatek, who again is, really peaking right now. But like you said, Andre, if I turn that match on, my plan is to see how the first couple games go. And if Osaka looks locked in, if she's hitting her serve, she's starting to sneak up a little bit on return, I'm going to go in and scoop up some live bets there. So that'll be a little bit more of a watch for me. Did you guys have any pre-match plays?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Spread. Go ahead.
The one I really like is the over. I don't think this is easy for either woman here. Let me pull up the exact number because these lines have been moving. I mean, talk
Total's
about
21.5,
yeah.
which is pretty close to where I have it, but I agree. I would say if you can on your book, try to sell the 22. That's a really low probability push, and you'll get a little better price on that. And then the 3 sets is plus 150, which look right about on the nose to me.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Andre? Do you have anything pre-match?
Well, pre-match, I gotta. Hey, if I can get that plus money at the jump, I can always make it back up. I feel like, because what you can't do is just say Osaka comes out strong. You know, you can't never catch up. Now you're guessing. You know, you're hoping. I'm gonna try the definitely. I'm gonna try that plus 140 is what I saw that on my book. What do you
It's
see?
probably a lot higher now.
Yeah, you can do a little bit better now. Yes, I'm seeing Osaka closer to plus 160, and I think you wait. I think Iga's going to be someone who gets lumped into parlays that people are going to scoop up. I think you just keep waiting. If we do get, so I'm seeing Osaka plus 3.5 minus 120, which means I think plus 4 is probably out of the realm of possibility. But if we see plus 4, I'll grab that pre-match. But yeah, from a money line perspective, I think you could hold off and wait if you like Osaka there. Now, on the men's side, another really interesting final and kind of the opposite story. Instead of, the former number one and the current number one, effectively, if you will, 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz ripped through the Miami tournament all the way in the final. Hubie Hurkacz backs up his tournament victory last year with an appearance in the final, and the defending champion. I'm looking at plus 3 games here, plus 185 on the money line. I rarely play a lot of men's tennis matches, but I like Hurkacz here quite a bit at plus money. Have either one of you watched a lot of the men's matches? Do you have a feeling on this? I'll start with you, Spread.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the best match of the year last night. It was up there to me with, when Alcaraz played Nadal in the semifinal at Indian Wells. What a match last night. And I thought the Kekmanovic was going to pull it out. And for Alcaraz to pull that off, I mean, what a great victory there. This is a fun one too. And I hate to kind of be doing the same thing, but I'm going over here as well. Hubie Hurkacz has played, I'm going on top of my head. I could be a little bit wrong, but I think it's something like 22 matches so far this year. I have to pull it up. And it's something like he's played at least 12 tie breaks in the 22 matches. So he's been holding the serve excellently. Yeah, he goes to tie breaks a lot. So I like the over.
5 in his last 6 matches have a tie break.
Yeah. I don't want to lay it with Alcaraz. I think Alcaraz wins, but the number's too high. Hurkacz has too good a chance to win for me to lay like whatever it is, minus 227 or whatever it was last time I looked. I'm just going to take the over here. And then the other thing I did was, if you do like Alcaraz, do what I do and just take a minus 105 to win the whole tournament, because this is his stiffest test here. Defending champ, Hurkacz is playing really well. And then on the other side, he's going to get either Casper Ruud and Cerundolo. Have I been guilty of not, underestimating Cerundolo this week? Yes, but his wins haven't necessarily been that impressive. Even if you look at Hurkacz, even if you look at Hurkacz, his wins haven't been that good either. Who was it? Like Lloyd Harris.
Real quick, he's down a set and a break. You don't have to talk too much about Cerundolo. He's going to lose to Ruud here.
I like Hurkacz, guys. I like Hurkacz.
Okay. Yeah.
And
if you like Alcaraz, just take the
You guys know how I bet. I like to read the number and then the matchup, because the thing that I always implement in my betting is, what the hell is the trader thinking when he put this number out? You know what I mean? Hurkacz should not be that big of a dog.
Well, I'll tell you what he was thinking. He was thinking everyone like me is watching this kid going, this kid's going to be number one in the world. I want to get on this train right away. I want to bet on this guy. So they got to put a number there to offset that. We all turn that match off. And
Hurkacz just handled the number one player in the world.
Yeah, but that wasn't a good performance from Medvedev. He
Spread's right. They're going to get as much Alcaraz money as they want, and I think that's kind of what you're seeing in this number. It's honestly, it's similar to the Iga number. They're going to get Iga money. They're just going to get Iga money.
One of those matches are going to go the other way. One of them are going to go the other way because of the amount that they're going to get on those. We all know as tennis bettors, we've all been betting tennis a long time now. The average number that the big whales bet on these games are usually when it minus 500s. You know that the for sure. Like if you go international, deal with these guys, like we all know that these barons and type guys who bet huge on the matches, they want for sure. So they want minus 300s, minus 400s, minus 500s on tennis. When you get to these close numbers like this and you have these plus 140s and they're inviting you for a player that looks so obviously better that to get them at under minus 200, I'm always skeptical.
No, I get that. And go ahead, Spread.
I would just say my last thing on it is, you know, my idea here is that I think that Hurkacz can switch into defensive mode too much, and I think that feeds into Alcaraz's hands a little bit too much. That he's going to get passive from the baseline, especially on return games, and that's going to allow Alcaraz to control court position and really be aggressive. But then again, like I said, I think the number reflects that, which is why I laid off today's match and just took the whole minus 105 off the idea that if he beats Hurkacz, he's definitely beating Ruud. Because if you think about it, Ruud plays a much similar style to Alcaraz. Alcaraz is just better at that style. Where Hurkacz, he can get that serve going, and he might just be holding like crazy.
That's what I'm betting on, because he served really well. That's why he was able to beat Medvedev. Even though Medvedev wasn't on game, he got him off a game by being frustrated the first set. Then the fact that he could not, win the set, he finally broke him to get his break back. But by then, Hurkacz just turned up that serve, man, and it really frustrated him in the tiebreaker. So that's the thing. We've seen Hurkacz do this to Federer when he was nearing the end of his prime. Well, he was at the end of his prime, but he still was a very good player. To Nadal, when Nadal was also, he's not in his prime, but he's still top of the game. Djokovic, Hurkacz has played against these guys and gave them great games. Alcaraz, what did he do against Nadal? Did he beat him?
No, he fell in the third in Indian
He fell in the third, right? Because that's his idol.
Though.
That's what we grew up looking up to. He wants to be the next Nadal. Like I said, he's a great player, man. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's one of those guys. I guess he is like Nadal. What you say, he's a baseline player pretty much, right? That's his strongest suit to his game, right?
It's almost a carbon copy, except he's right-handed.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. It's pretty much just baseline, and then being able to put the ball, his forearm is unbelievable. He could put it wherever he wants to pass you. Whereas in Hurkacz, that's what I'm saying, man. When you got those type of players and the Hurkacz attacking like he does on offense when his serve is right, I just think there's going to be probably the overs the bet, right? We do it. Over games is probably the bet, right? So.
Yeah, it's going to be competitive. And I guess in a lot of ways, is this the final? Can either one of you see Ruud beating the winner of this match? I mean, Ruud's super talented, but Alcaraz kind of does what he does a little bit better. And I think QB's game holds up against Ruud. I mean, Andre, could you see Ruud beating either one of these guys?
Not really. In my opinion, Ruud's a better clay player, but he's playing well this year on hard, but definitely talented player, man. But against either of these two, he's definitely an underdog.
I think he's got a better chance against Hurkacz just for the same reasons I mentioned. Ruud does have that baseline game with the heavy topspin that we know plays well on the so hard courts. And, you're choosing a guy that basically you're hoping is going to have the advantage in the baseline to baseline rallies. The thing is, Hurkacz should be able to hold serve a lot easier than Ruud, just because of the fact he gets so many free points on his service games. Yeah. Break points are at a premium. And it's so funny, right? We talk about blowing break points, right? And if you look at the stats, you're like, he blew 10 of 14 break points. A lot of times when you watch, they're unreturnable. He didn't really blow anything. He watched 110 mile an hour serve go by him. Like, it wasn't really a choke.
Right.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Hit that? I'd move out of the way.
Right.
Deal with any of that. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, that's all I got today. It's always good talking tennis with you. Like I said, when I come back next week, we'll hit all the NBA stuff. We should start having some of those matchups set, maybe some playing games and stuff like that. Of course, everybody can find me at _Noops on Twitter. But anything else from you guys before I get out of here?
Quick question, Noops. Who you like for the Final Four? I know you got an opinion on that, right?
It's such a bummer. I'm so sick of hearing about Mike Krzyzewski.
I
have to give some credit. I have to give some credit to my buddy Andy Molitor, my co-host of Brown Bag Bets, for pointing out that thank God the Masters is next week, because if Duke wins the title, which it seems like, and I know you love conspiracy theories, Andre, and if you're a believer in conspiracy theories, there's a lot of things pointing towards maybe the association wanting that Duke to get that one last title. At least we're not going to have to hear about it on Thursday, because there'll be golf, thank God. And it seems like we're barreling towards Duke beating Kansas in the final. But if anybody can upset the apple cart, it's Jay Wright. Although I'm a little worried. He's not wearing a suit for some reason. That can't be good.
And he's missing Justin Moore too.
That also hurts. It's not good to be in the biggest game of your season without one of your better players. So maybe we'll coach him up. Maybe he can get him through that first game without Josh Moore, and then you just get lucky.
Right. Well, Noops, Spread could tell you all the last month I've been calling this the Coach K's Lifetime Achievement Award tournament. So you definitely on the right one with that one, man. But look at that over on that. I'm actually going to get it out on the bonus pick right now. So stay backstage and check it out, man. I will always appreciate you coming on, Noops. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
All right,
let's get to the bonus.
Yeah, we got to get this bonus out here, man. We got to keep these winners coming. We cannot stop having winning weeks. The only L's we take are lessons around here, man. We're gonna make sure you see the black, man. We don't do the red. All right, let's go.
All right, here we got. We both agree on this one. I already placed it. Jalen Green going against the 29th best defense in the NBA, the Sacramento Kings. Boy, what a team, what a franchise. 16 straight years out of the playoffs. They continue to set records, just not in the way that we like. But, man, we saw in the last game, we said the only thing that would stop him is if Davion Mitchell shadows him, and that didn't happen.
No.
So he's just going to go off again tonight. He had, 32 last time?
Yeah, he's bound for 23 is too short a number. Me and Spread got to give you guys this one, man. 29th and 30th defense. They'll be playing just like the last game. It'll be layup lines left and right, and it'll be very easy for him to get his because when Jalen Green looks across at who's he's facing, he's seeing his AAU buddies and guys that's young like him that he's burnt before. He's not seeing a wily old vet that he looked up to playing, NBA Live or nothing, NBA 2K growing up. So I expect him to easily go over that 23. Hey, man, I'm trying to get you to come to Vegas. The Kings might be right behind you. All right, man. And I'm going to also give you guys the over 151.5 on the Duke and North Carolina game, or as I like to call it, Coach K's send-off. So we're going to go with that, man. This is going to be a game that's built for Hollywood. It's going to be the perfect script. It's going to be down to the wire. Both these guys play their best against each other. As you know, they're on Tobacco Road, man. They're only a 5-minute drive, the campuses from each other. So they played, I believe this is going to be their 328th meeting since 1920. Unbelievable history in this matchup. And out of all of those years playing 258 matchups, since 1920, this is the first time they ever played in the Final Four. You got all these different things that's going to have all these teams fired up. You got Coach K's last game at Cameron Indoor ruined by the mean old North Carolina Tar Heels. You got Coach Chris Carrawell snubbing Hubert Davis in the handshake line and being a dick. It's not showing any type of respect to gamemanship. And so both teams are going to be already, they don't like each other because of the rivalry. But you got these factors also going in from everything that happened last time. It's perfect for TV. So expect high scoring. Expect these guys to be playing their best. The last 6 times that these two teams have matched up, they've averaged 172 combined. So they went 20 points over this number, and I expect it again. I expect them to be firing out all guns and everybody making shots and up and down the court. Both coaches running NBA style. I don't have an opinion on the side. It's going to get tricky. So let's go with Duke and North Carolina over 151.5. And men spread also going to give you Jalen Green over 22.5 tonight as my Rockets and his Kings face off for the second time this week in Houston in the strangest NBA schedule we've seen in decades. Hey, man, we really enjoyed you guys this week. We gave you guys those bonuses so we can guarantee that we have another winning week. This will be 11. Our whole thing is about helping you guys win, man. And we ask that you just continue to watch the show, support us by giving us likes and comments. Follow my guy Spread at Spread ASTAIRE on Twitter. Subscribe to his page, Spread ASTAIRE on YouTube. Follow me, please, on Twitter at 5 Star in Vegas, capital F-I-V-E, spell out the 5. Also, please go to my YouTube and subscribe to my channel, 5-Star in Vegas Sports Investments. The best of luck to you all. It's Final Four weekend. NBA playoffs are coming up. Tennis this weekend. Beautiful days in the West Coast because it's a spring day. Hey, man, it's the best time of the year, man. Best of luck to you all. We'll see you Monday.